stood at the same bus stop every evening. Same time, same bench, same silence. No one really noticed him anymore. To the world, he was just another old man waiting for a bus. But what people didn't know is that he wasn't waiting for the bus at all. He was waiting for her. Every day at 6:15 p.m., Thomas arrived at the corner of Maple Street and Elm Avenue. He wore the same gray coat, carried a small brown notebook, and always looked down the road as if searching for someone. When the bus came, he would let people board first. Then, without saying a word, he would quietly walk away. People who passed him daily began to whisper, "That man's strange. Why wait if he never takes the bus?" But Thomas didn't care, because she had promised she would come back, right there at that bus stop. 5 years ago, that same spot looked different. The air was lighter, the laughter louder. Thomas stood there holding hands with a woman, Anna. She was full of life, always smiling, always talking. She loved that bus stop because it was where they first met. He remembered that day clearly. It was raining and she had no umbrella. Thomas offered his and she laughed, saying, "Then you'll get wet." He smiled, "Then we'll both get wet together." That small moment became the start of something beautiful. They fell in love, got married, and made a life together. Simple, but full of meaning. Every evening after work, they'd meet at that bus stop to walk home together. It became their place. But one evening, Anna didn't show up. Thomas thought she was late. Then the phone rang. It was the hospital. There had been an accident, a drunk driver. Thomas ran like never before. But when he reached the hospital, it was too late. Anna was gone. Everything inside him went silent. He couldn't cry, couldn't speak, couldn't even breathe. That night he sat alone by the window, holding her umbrella, the same one from the day they met. He whispered, "You said we'd meet at the bus stop tomorrow. You promised." Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. But Thomas couldn't move on. He kept going to that bus stop every evening at 6:15. He believed that maybe, just maybe, if love was strong enough, she'd return. He wrote letters to her in his small brown notebook, one every day. He never mailed them, just kept them safe. Letters like, "Today was cold, Anna. I missed your laugh. I saw a woman in a red coat. For a second, I thought it was you. Do you still watch the sunset from up there?" Neighbors called him crazy. But Thomas didn't care, because sometimes love makes you believe in the impossible. One rainy evening, a young woman sat next to him at the bus stop. She looked tired and sad. Thomas noticed her wiping away tears. He gently asked, "Rough day?" She nodded. "My fiancé left me." "I feel like my life's over." Thomas smiled softly, his eyes kind but full of pain. He handed her his notebook. "Read the last page," he said. She opened it and read, "Love doesn't end when someone leaves. Sometimes love just changes shape. It becomes memory, kindness, and strength for someone else." She looked at him, eyes wide. "Did you write this?" He nodded. "Yes. For my wife, Anna. She left. But she never really left." The girl smiled through her tears. "Thank you." I really needed to hear that. Thomas stood up as the bus arrived. For the first time in 5 years, he didn't walk away. He stepped onto the bus. The girl waved as the doors closed. And just for a moment, she could have sworn she saw another woman sitting next to him, smiling, wearing a red coat. The next evening, the bus stop was empty. Thomas didn't come. The young woman waited, hoping to see him again. But he never returned. A few days later, she visited the community notice board and saw a small message pinned there. It read, "In loving memory of Thomas Reed, who waited for love and finally found it again. Tears filled her eyes. She looked up at the sky and whispered, "I hope you found her." Sometimes love doesn't end in goodbye. Sometimes it continues in silence, in small acts of kindness, and in the people we meet when our hearts are broken. Thomas's story reminds us, you never really lose someone you truly love. They live in your heart, in your habits, and in the lessons they leave behind. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to share it with someone who needs hope. And remember, some people wait a lifetime for love, and some keep loving even after the waiting ends.